Hi and welcome back to Animal Liberation TV. So I'm going to do an episode in Badger's Stories, and in this one I'm going to cover a document that I mentioned briefly in my Queen versus Keith Mann episode of Badger Stories. And also I mentioned it in one of the Huddersfield 4 episodes. And I thought I'll do a little quick excursion around this document. But the cases that it talks about in this document, the court cases, I'll be going into various details about all of those sort of things in From Dusk Till Dawn and Badger Stories as well. It will skirmish around some of these court cases because of, they were my mates essentially. So yeah, this document, just to recap for people. There's a lot of information I can't share on it, but I am going to share bits of it. Details of ALF related cases referred to CPS coordinating committee. So the justice system, as they call it, was kind of focused on making sure they got the convictions that them and the police were all working together to stitch us all up, basically. Right, so now I need to be careful to keep things covered up that I can't show. So we'll look here. You've got the first column, which is originating, so that's the area, the defendants involved, the charges against them, and the next date and venue. So these are ongoing court cases, and there's about, I did a quick count before, it's about 40 or something people involved in these, which is what I've said fairly consistently, isn't it? And so all of these cases, just to remind you, I think this document was printed in 1992 by the looks of it, and I was probably given it as part of the Manchester Conspiracy Court files. So let's have a look here. The first one, originating CPS area, Hertfordshire and Bedfordshire. There's 2 defendants, I'm not going to give their names. The charges were conspiracy to murder, possess firearms, and 2 conspiracy to murder. Both of those people got off of those charges, I think. Cheshire, we've got John Taxi, Blood, and Keith Mann. Those are names for the other people. They were involved in the Manchester conspiracy. The charges were burglary at Devon Eggs in Macclesfield on the 2nd of June 91. See, Manchester now part of Operation Lance, so that was the police operation against us in Manchester, as you know, if you follow my channel. Greater Manchester, so we've got Keith, Marilyn, Blood, Terry Helsby, Al, Claire, May, John Taxi, another John, and another John, who we call Fran. Right, conspiracy to cause criminal damage, arson, no value given, incitement, conspiracy to burgle, custody and control of items with intention to cause criminal damage. We've all been committed to Manchester Crown Court. Derbyshire, Alistair James Howson and Rhian and Leonard Thomas. That's French. Alistair's his real name. And Rhian passed away about 5 years ago as well. So it's really sad to read that because neither of them are with us anymore. And they were together in a relationship for a few years in their 20s. And they've both passed away. They're both really good friends of mine. It's sad to read that. It's kind of weird. I'm like a relic from a past age, me, and oh dear. 12 and 18 months imprisonment, partly suspended to serve 6 months, which I think they'd done on remand. And the reason why those 2 weren't brought into the Manchester conspiracy is because they didn't visit mine and Terry and Lou's flat 201 Clownland Road, which you'll know was the focal point for the police. They made the our flat the focus of the conspiracy instead of the acts themselves. But I'll go into the details and explain all of that. Originating CPS area, Kent, Keith Mann, and just say V for her. Conspiracy to commit arson. She got 6 years imprisonment, and his case put back for sentence at Manchester. And I think he got 6 years for that as well as part of his overall 14 later on, Keith. Right, next area, Leicestershire, Northampton. We've got Angie, Annette, Richard. Possible charges regarding Angie Hamp and Keith Mann. Arson, lorries, criminal damage. They've been committed for trial. Venue likely to be Northampton or more likely Oxford. And they got 4 years for that. Eventually, a few months after this document was printed. Cambridgeshire and Lincolnshire. Mick, Barry Horn, Gary Allen, and Angie Hamp again. Barry and Gary, Bazu and Gaza, they've both passed away as well. God, Jesus Christ, this is, for me personally, it's kind of a little bit weird. But yeah, so that was the Brampton 3, of which Gary Gaza got acquitted eventually. And Angie Hamp's in there because that's, I think, to do with the 7 dogs that were liberated from Laundry Farm on a daylight raid, which I mentioned in my Badgers story teasers. There was a high-speed chase, and she's charged with reckless driving and criminal damage. And the other 3, the Brampton 3, they were charged with possession of explosives, section 4, and they were given 3. Not guilty on Gary Allen, got on Gaza, and 3 years each for Barry and Mick. West Yorkshire, and so this is the Huddersfield 4 case. So we've got Denise, Gav, Big Dick, and Darryl. Conspiracy to burgle, conspiracy to cause arson, conspiracy to cause criminal damage. Other offences going equipped, custody, controlled items to cause damage, etc. 12 additional charges in all. They threw the book at them, trying to intimidate them, didn't they? Dirty fucks. Trial date fixed for 9th November 1992. Trial estimate 4 to 6 weeks, which is what I read about in my Huddersfield 4 case. West Midlands. Mark. On a butcher shop, conspiracy to commit arson. He got 4 years. Yeah, I think we swapped some letters, me and Mark. I'm not going to give people's full names unless they're kind of quite well known. And, you know. Merseyside, Sam, Alex, Rian again. And 2 people from the Manchester conspiracy, which it says defendants had appeared on the Manchester conspiracy indictment. So that was Terry and another one of the Johns. And Rian, Alex, and Sam were all charged with criminal damage to Liverpool University, given conditional discharges, committed November 91. We've got more here. There was loads of us on bail at one point, or in prison, in and out of prison for about 2-3 years, all of us. Thames Valley, defendants Richard, and then they arrested other people in that house, which was Deborah, Patrick, Claire, Anton, Neil Wheatley, Cynthia O'Neill, Stephen Hunter. They're all people connected to really early Hillgrove stuff. Well, the last 3. Burglary, criminal damage, burglary, theft of photos, burglary, Park Farm. Oh yeah, Park Farm, not Hillgrove. Oxford City Magistrates committed. Yeah. there's lots of stories linked in with all of that stuff, which I'll be telling during my stories, and also from Dust Till Dawn. London, Inner, Adam, Nancy Phipps. Possible additional charges for Angie Hamp and Keith Mann. That was the Royal London Hospital. Criminal damage, burglary, amended figure £2.6 million. Ooh, which is like about 26 million now. Ooh, Adam was committed. Nancy Phipps says she didn't. I don't think anyone got done for that one, actually, if I'm right. No one got sent to prison anywhere, from what I remember. Nottinghamshire, Gareth, criminal damage. Nottingham University. This has got a date for trial, I think. Staffordshire, Warwickshire. Adam, again. Criminal damage, conspiracy to cause criminal damage. Proceedings discontinued. So, actually, quite a lot of those people didn't get done for a lot of those charges. So, or certainly a lot of the court cases, none of the court cases really worked out how they wanted. And like I said in one of the episodes, I can't remember which one now, 2 or 6 podcasts, they wanted to join us all in, really, about 40 of us in, all of these people on this list, at the Old Bailey for a big ALF trial, and really, really hammer us. But they didn't really pull that off, and in fact most of the trials, like I've just said, kind of didn't work out at all how they wanted, not really. It was a poor end result for them all. I mean, lots of us went to prison, but it was a poor end result for them all, given the scale of stuff that had happened that year, which I read out in podcast 2, the ALF response to the murder of Hunt saboteur Mike Hill. So, that's the official CPS legal documents given to us, telling us what was going on in various court cases. So, you can see there's lots of familiar names. You already know some of the stuff. You know the general context if you follow my channel of all of that. So, it kind of backs up what I've been telling you. There's official documents saying the stuff I've been saying. So, I hope you found that of some interest. In the meantime, everyone, take care.